What is going on? It's Rob here, aka Flightsimtoday, and in this video we're going to be discussing how I go about picking my flights in FSEconomy and actually then flying them to make the income. So the first thing we see here is we are logged in to the FSEconomy website. Now the assumption is you're already registered and you've already downloaded the client. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, there are videos around on YouTube to look it up and then get that working. So once we've logged in to the FSEconomy site, we want to go to airports. Now from here, you can search for any aircraft you like, but obviously we are flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we want to find an aircraft that is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now for me at the moment, I'm flying around in the 172 Skyhawk, the Cessna. We want to make sure that it's rentable because we don't own one at the moment. And then I always search 50 miles from Liverpool. So there's a few options here you can have. You can either where you last left, where you last landed, search from there. Maybe the aircraft you left is still in the airport, or alternatively you can find an airport nearby that has the same aircraft. But for me, we're going to go 50 miles from Liverpool and press go. So only one comes back, which is Woodvale. So we're going to open up Woodvale and we'll have a look here. So is there a 172? Yes, there is. However, there's something I want to point out in here when we're looking, and I don't want to make this flight as an example, but yes, it has a 172, but FSEconomy does actually simulate equipment on the aircraft. So in this example, we have no GPS. We've got no instrument flight rule equipment, IFR equipment on board. We've only been able to get VFR and the basic autopilot, which is probably going to be heading mode and altitude from there. Now we could fly it. If you are comfortable with that, that is fine. From here, you can select this and fly it. But for me, I'm going to find a different one. So I'm going to pause this and come back when we've searched for a flight that we can do that meets the criteria, and then we'll discuss it from there. Okay, so we had to widen our search a lot more to find a flight that would be fit for purpose. So what we've come across is the airport of Guernsey in the Channel Islands. And what we're looking at here is the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. It's got all the equipment on board that we possibly need. It's based at Heathrow, which is important, which we'll talk about in a second. And then we've got our rental price, dry and wet. Now, when we say wet, it means that all your fuel costs are included. So it's $350 per hour all in. However, the most economical way on FSEconomy is to rent your aircraft dry and then just pay for the fuel that you've used. Okay, so I mentioned earlier before that Heathrow. Now you see this bonus. The bonus is, so the owner of this aircraft has the aircraft stationed at London Heathrow, it's Echo Golf Lima Lima. Now they obviously don't want it to go too far away from their home base, so they put a big bonus on that. That if you fly away from Heathrow, then you are going to get fined a certain portion of this depending on how far away you go. But alternatively, if you fly towards Heathrow in any way, then you'll get the bonus back as a little bit of credit the closer to Heathrow you go. So if you were to fly back into Heathrow, then you'd get the full bonus. Okay, simple terms, that's it from there. So we are going to rent the aircraft dry. Okay, so now it's locked to us. So now we need to find a flight, some jobs. Now what I like to do is sort by nautical miles, and we're going to go as short as we possibly can in this flight, just to simply make it quicker for us. So ideally, you would want to find multiple destinations in here. You can pick two, so we could fly from Guernsey to Bournemouth, and then from Bournemouth on to Echo Golf Hotel November at Sandown. So you could do that and then get paid for them both. Okay, so it's a possibility that you take one passenger, then the 1 kilo of cargo, and make the flight. But just to make it simple here, we're going to just basically pick the one job, and we're going to select that. So we're going to go and do the tick box, Okay. One bit I will point out here. So we're going to add to our My Flights, add to the assignments. Okay. And then we're going to go to this My Flight tab here, just so we can reserve all this. Reserve the aircraft. We can still cancel it and cancel this. We can click the tick box and cancel it to the assignment should we wish. So we're not committed at this point. But not every airport is in the flight simulator. Okay, so bear that in mind. Not every airport is in the flight simulator. So it's always worth checking Guernsey, Bournemouth, that both airports are in the simulator. You can, in theory, fly without the airport in the simulator. And as long as you land on the ground where the airport would be, FSEconomy will recognize that. But it's not ideal to do so. So that's it in a nutshell there. We want to make sure that we've got the right amount of fuel on board. Now, this aircraft has been flown in to Guernsey and it's got 19 gallons of fuel on there already. We just want to make sure that we've got enough for this flight. So for one passenger on this Cessna, it can hold 54 gallons, okay, as a rough guide. So how much fuel is needed for an 86 nautical mile flight? 7 gallons. We've got 19. So this moment in time, we don't need to fuel up. I'm happy. We've got more than enough fuel on board the aircraft to get us from Guernsey to Bournemouth. Okay. So that's pretty much it from there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go into the aircraft and then we're going to start the flight. Okay, so here we are in the aircraft, in the 172. Everything's turned off, looking good to go. And we've got the FSEconomy client open. Now you'll see, first things first, we're connected to the network on the FSEconomy network, or their server. And then we're also connected to the flight simulator. So you need to show connected and connected on these two. Okay, it already recognizes the fact that we're in the Cessna 172 Skyhawk and we're actually situated at Guernsey, exactly where we want to be. So how do we get this going? Well, like I say, we've not touched the aircraft, we've just sat in here. We want to go up to Actions, Start Flight. And that's basically it. The flight's now started. So we can minimize that. That's now tracking us in the background. And yeah, we don't have to do any more from here. We've basically got to fly this flight from Guernsey to Bournemouth and get paid. So we're going to pause this. And when I see you next, we're going to be at the ground at Bournemouth. Okay, so there we are. We're on stand, we're at the parking anyway, and we need to then register the FSEconomy that we've finished the flight. And the way we do this is we simply select the parking brake. There you go. Your flight is logged and the results can be found on the website. So we no longer rent the aircraft, it's gone. So if you want to continue from here, if you saw that job before, then we'd have to re-rent the aircraft. So let's go over to FSEconomy and see what that looks like. So here we are back on the FSEconomy website. Already we can see that our balance, which was at $1,000, has gone up to $1,876. So when we see what happened, we can go to log, and here it is. So the Guernsey to Bournemouth flight, and when we click on view, we can see here. So we made $820 income from the job. We rented the aircraft for 53 minutes, so that was $223.89 because it was $250 per hour. We used $40.95 of fuel. So what was that? Be 290? I think it was what, 340, something like that to rent it, or 380 to maybe 360. So around there to rent it wet. So you get the idea there. $82 was ground handling, so $122.95 in additional cost. We actually got the bonus, which doesn't quite make sense, but either way, we earned. Oh, it does. Sorry, yeah, because it deducts this, so it would have been that minus this, we'd have only got 400, say, maybe less than that. But the bonus, because we flew it closer to Heathrow, remember the bonus was $500 for flying it to Heathrow. Now, you didn't quite get to Heathrow, but we got it a lot closer. So the owner of the aircraft gave an additional $403 because of the fact that we actually took the aircraft closer to home. So essentially then, the costs were almost were free, essentially, and then we earn $876 for the flight. So there you go. So it's worth checking the bonus when you pick your flights. Not only do you want to check for multiple destinations to fill the aircraft up, but also look where you're flying to. Where does that aircraft actually belong? Where's its home based? Because if you're flying it away, are you really going to be making money? But any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Other than that, I hope that has answered how you can pick a flight and a job in FS Economy and fly it from start to finish. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video. See you soon.